All right, welcome to episode 276 of the Current Gen podcast. My name is Tim, and I'm here all alone. Dan and Kyle are not here. It's just one of those weekends where the timing just didn't match up, and it usually does for at least a couple of us. It just didn't work out for this weekend. And that's totally fine, because now I finally get to talk without those bozos interrupting me nonstop. Actually, I'm just kidding. It's actually kind of weird and boring to just have me talk, but I still wanted to have an episode out so I could give you some thoughts from us, at least one of us, on the many announcements and trailers that came out through Summer Games Fest, through the Xbox showcase, as well as the Future Games Show, and then about some new games that are out. So just so you had something to listen to this week. Hopefully, for the few of you who tune in and subscribe, which we really appreciate, hopefully it's something that you can listen to and maybe watch on YouTube or Spotify. I'm going to spend a lot of time with the YouTube playlists that I've put together so we can watch some trailers, but I will be describing what we're seeing and doing my best to talk to those of you who just listen on audio as well. So, yes, let's dive in. We're going to kick things off with the Future Games Show. And this was a showcase that happened before the bigger events that we're going to talk about as well. So we're going to dive into that first, and then we'll get to some new games that are out, like Dune Awakening and The Altars. I have a few thoughts on both of those games. Sadly, you won't hear Kyle's take. I know he certainly has put in hours into Dune Awakening. Can't wait to hear his thoughts on that. And also get both Dan and Kyle's thoughts on these mini trailers we're going to be looking at together. So let's dive in together first with Future Game Show and see what kind of trailers they have for us. I've got the audio on, I hope, and if not, that's fine. Hopefully the audio is on a little bit, not too loud, for all of you to see and hear a little bit of the trailer while I talk about it. So the first thing they announced at the Future Games Show was this game from the Expanse universe, based on that TV show. I think there was a Telltale game about this as well that happened at one point or other. But this just looks really high quality. I know the Expanse has built up quite the following over time. So this, I think, looks pretty cool. This is a very cinematic trailer. We won't watch the whole thing. I'll just kind of scrub forward here a little bit so you can see and hear, spaceships, lots of cool things happening, lots of weapons being fired as there's this assault on some kind of asteroid base. That's what it looks like. So, and then at some point they get to infiltrate the base, and there's a firefight that happens, which looks pretty cool. So, it didn't look like direct gameplay. It looked like maybe what could represent some gameplay with powers and guns and things like that, but it just looked cinematic to me. So if there's been gameplay trailers out there, I don't think this is it, and I haven't seen it, but still looks cool, looks creepy, looks interesting. The Expanse Osiris Reborn. I'll give you the title screen here. There you go. The Expanse Osiris Reborn, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and you can wishlist it now. I don't think they gave, let me double check my notes. I don't think they gave a release window for this. If they've announced one since then, I haven't seen it. So there you go. So I assume 2026 or later. So here we go. Next one was a game called Echoes of the End. I thought this looked really neat. I liked the design of this. It has this fantasy and also sort of modern sci-fi mix of styles going on here a little bit of magic, a little bit of technology, and I thought this one was pretty cool. I'm going to turn it down just a smidge. I don't think it's too loud for you, but in my headphones it's super loud. Yeah, elements of this reminded me of stuff like God of War, or of course a Viking kind of setting, Assassin's Creed Valhalla a little bit. Some of the good parts of Forspoken, right? Some of the visuals, the main character reminds me of her a little bit. Not her personality, but just her design a little bit. And then some of these powers remind me of Forspoken a little bit too. So, yeah, I think this one looks cool. You do see some gameplay in this one. Let's jump ahead a bit. Yeah, you get to see some of this action gameplay. You have like a force pull, you stab them, big boss fight. Sliding levels. Everyone likes a good slide level, right? So yeah, this one looks pretty cool. Echoes of the End from, I think it's pronounced Merkur Games. So it says coming this summer. Xbox, PlayStation, and PC from Merkur Games, published by Deep Silver. This one looks cool. This could be one of those like AA surprisingly good games. I've talked about stuff like Banishers before. There's lots of the Atlas Fallen game really improved. So there's a lot of really good examples of kind of these smaller teams doing really good work. This could be one of those. We don't know. We won't know until we see reviews, till we get hands on it. But I thought Echoes of the End looked pretty cool. And just to be clear, I'm skipping a whole bunch of announcements and things that were featured in these shows to just highlight stuff that I thought was interesting, whether good or bad. So far we've got The Expanse, which I'm still, tell you what I'll do. I'll do like a definitely gonna get it, negative, no way I'm gonna get it, or somewhere in the middle, like might get it. So The Expanse is a might get it. Echoes of the End is a very strong might get it, close to will get it, because it just reminds me of stuff like Banishers that I've really enjoyed, and even God of War a little bit. So, all right, moving on to Whispers in the Fog. I thought this looked really creepy, and I liked the first-person perspective. Made me think of like Blair Witch or something like that. But it is I think they're calling it like an adventure horror game. As you can see in the little tag at the bottom, it says pre-alpha gameplay, but someone is kind of very confusingly stumbling through the forest here. It's raining, they see some creepy stuff, then they get to like this cabin. It's dark, so you get to see what it's like with the flashlight, which I thought looked really cool. These game engines, man, these game engines these days are crazy. So, yeah, then you get to this creepy cabin, which has some lights on. And things happen. There's some creepy singing. There you go. Wake up in a forest, no memory. So it's one of those walking simulator, probably some horror, maybe action, but I don't think so. I think it's more adventure, solving things and figuring out where to go. So no release date on that one either. Moving on. For a casual, feel-good experience, check out Herdling. I think Herdling looks absolutely adorable and fun. You know, Kyle and I talk about the sim games we like to do. This kind of has some of that, but also some of the exploring, and I love a nice open world feel or open area feel, and some management elements too. And although it might just be guiding them and then like petting them to keep them happy and calm, I don't know if there's much management to this, or if it's a little more puzzle, you know, explore the world and get them to the destination safely. Maybe it's just that kind of a thing. But yeah, Herdling. I think there's a demo for it, so you can go try it out. I think this one looks really cool. So this is out this summer. This is the PlayStation trailer, so it doesn't list all the platforms. I'm pretty sure it's coming to every platform, but I could be wrong about that. Let me see if it says. From Okamotive, creators of the Far games. Oh, I love the Far. No wonder I'm excited about this. I love the Far games. Far Sales, and the other one I forget. I love those games. Those are really good. So there you go. Herdling, coming out this summer. All right, then we got this isometric kind of stealthy game. I love the setting of this. So this is also a PlayStation trailer. I think this is captured on PC. It just said there. But this is like this isometric, right around the turn of the century, early 1900s, sort of industrial revolution type setting. But look at that. I like the way you can explore. You can use the pipes and these elevated on top of buildings. I think there's some stealth element. Yeah, there's some stealth here. You need to be able to sneak around past guards. I'm sure it starts out lighthearted and gets heavy quick, is what it seems like. But it's called Eric's Home, as in like the name. It's like a full last name is what it sounds like some kind of Norwegian last name, or Danish maybe. Let me see if it actually says. Vibrant city of Eric's Home. So it's this girl Hannah who's trying to figure out the disappearance of her brother Herman. So there you go. I think this one looks fun. Set for July 15th. I also believe that's on every platform. Definitely PC and PS5 though. So Eric's Home. Thumbs up for that one. That's definitely a get for me. Herdling is also definitely a get for me. That's a thumbs up. All right, this one's called The Explorator. Seems like an unnecessary syllable, but whatever. But I just love the design of this one. That's why I highlighted it. It's the one that I maybe would have skipped over otherwise, but I just thought it looked really cool. This is I don't even know how you would describe it. It's in early access now. Here, let me pull it up. So they're calling it a first-person shooter. I thought more first-person adventure, but I guess there's a shooting aspect to it. Search for priceless treasures buried in Atlantis while avoiding creatures that wish you harm. They're calling it a 2D animated shooter. So it's first person, but it's got this 2-dimensional animation to it. So that's cool. Let me see if I can get to some gameplay or at least some perspective that you see. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there is shooting. I guess I forgot this part. Duh. How cool is that? That looks really cool. Let me rewind it a bit so you can see that again. Cool use of lighting here. Love the art style. And then using these guns to take out these cartoon enemies. I don't know. I think it looks like a lot of fun. So, early access available on PC. Now, it could be a console game later, but there you go. You can go check it out on early access. All right. Then we've got this game, Constance. They're calling it a Metroidvania, but it's got this paint, not only style, but theme to it. So you've got these paint brushes. Here, let's skip ahead so you can see the 2D platforming. There you go. So you're using a paintbrush as your weapon. I imagine there's some painting abilities going on here too. I think this looks really cool. I'm on board with this one. Of course, I like a good side-scrolling platformer, so that certainly helps. So this one is called Constance. Let's jump ahead here. There we go. There's the title screen. Constance. Yeah, I think it looks cool. November 24th. So there you go. Demo on Steam right now.
I have seen things.
Okay, I was pumped for this one because I played the Call of the Sea, which was a really intriguing kind of puzzle adventure game where you had to solve this mystery of what happened to people on this island. I really liked it. I thought the story got kind of out there and fantastical at the end, and you had a cool decision to make at the end. I loved it. I thought Call of the Sea was really cool and compelling. So, same team. It's a kind of a follow-up to that. I don't know how connected it is to it, but similar title, right? It's called Call of the Elder Gods. So for that last one, Constance, that's a thumbs up for me. This one I'm in the middle on, but only because I'm not always in the mood for these kind of games, even though I really liked Call of the Sea. So we'll see if the reviews come out great. If I'm in that mode where I want to explore and discover a story, I'll absolutely play this one. So same text style and everything. So yeah, just says coming soon. Although it is copyrighted 2025, little things you got to look for there at the bottom. Steam, PS5, Switch 2, Xbox. I have a feeling it's going to be out this summer. Could be fall. But yeah, that one I thought looked pretty good. Moving on. All right, this one, if I'm remembering correctly, this is Sacrifice. Is this Sacrifier? No. What is this one? Oh, okay. This is the Bureau of Fantastical and Arcane Affairs. I thought this one looked really interesting. So let's skip ahead here a little bit. Had a little bit of a Harry Potter vibe to it with the way he talks about it, and even the title of like the Bureau, right? But you're auditing villains and their lairs. So you're actually, I have a feeling you get to actually find them if they're not up to code. Investigate, like, yeah, I think it's a kind of a sim game, but in a fantasy world where you're actually auditing these villains. So you negotiate with them. I don't know. I like this kind of stuff. Don't know if it's any good or if it'll be fun. I just like the concept of it. So for the concept alone, I'm pretty close to in. Depends on the price and the reviews and all that. But yeah, I don't think there's a release date for that one yet. But I just thought that one looked really cool. It is set, I believe, for 2025, even though it doesn't say it here. I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, we're on to the next one. Hirogami, of course, with the play on the term origami, right? But this is a kind of this folded paper world. Think like Tearaway, but even more modern looking. It's got a cool perspective where the background is a little out of focus as you're looking at things closer to you. Very kind of claymation, stop motion action looking, sort of, in its animation, but it's all folded paper. So everything's in the world is made out of paper and has this very jittery, low frames per second look to it, while even though the movement still looks smooth, it's just got a cool art design to it. So I'm totally in on Hirogami. I like a really good creative platformer, and this looks like it's got some cool things going for it. I'd hope something like this would hit like Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, or maybe Epic Games free games on the Epic Store. It's the kind of game that I really do want to play, but I don't know what else will be out around then. I don't know if there's going to be other things vying for my attention. It's September 3rd, so we've got stuff like Mafia Old Country, and we've got Borderlands and a few other games that are going to be out in that August-September window. So who knows? Who knows? But I am interested in this one. This one's pretty close to a thumbs up for me as well. So Hirogami, September 3rd. It's hitting PlayStation and PC that we know of. Could come to other stuff too. But PlayStation and PC that we know of. All right, next one. Okay, so this is a long video. We're not going to watch all of it. Just wanted to give you a cool early look at something that's on Kickstarter right now called Ahoy. And they describe it as a, I think it's a boat simulator. What do they call it? Multiplayer voyage to the 1780s. Explore the West Indies, trade goods, manage your player and NPC crew. So yeah, naval battle simulator type game. Historically accurate representation of the age of sail. That's cool. But a lot of this is cinematic, so we're not getting an idea of what the gameplay really looks like. But this long video is about 19 minutes long. They dive into what they're planning on doing for the game, which is cool. You hear directly from the developers how they're going to do teams with naval combat, as you heard there. They also outline like a roadmap, some modes they're going to be doing. I think the roadmap was like alpha by early 2026. Yeah, alpha early 2026. So yeah, it's a Kickstarter. It's what you expect. So if you're interested, go check out Ahoy. Maybe support them early on if that's your kind of game. All right, moving on. I'm a maybe on that one. All right, Under Par, Golf Architect. Speaking of management games, I just thought this one looked really adorable and maybe even addicting and fun, where you actually are, as far as I can tell, crafting courses. Yeah, you can see here, you're actually moving the environment around. You're changing the level of it. You are designing golf courses. That's cool. You can even decide where the trees are going to be, where the sand traps are going to be, where's the fairway. I love that. That is great. Even mapping out where they should be hitting it. That's so cool. I love this. And I'm pretty sure you're managing the whole business, like making money and things like that too, but I'm not positive. Yeah, you're like setting it up, your actual golf course, like the club and everything. Yeah, I love stuff like this. So I'm pretty in on this one, unless it turns out to be pure garbage, then I'm back out. But I think it looks fun. I wonder if the golf part's fun to play too. It's hard to say. Or if you don't even play, maybe you just build and let the NPCs play. But yeah, it's going to be on Switch, Steam, Series S and X, and then PS5. I got to tell you, I think Epic Games, I got to tell you, if it has good controller support, I'm interested in the Switch version. This is a great game to play on the go. It seems like low barrier of entry technology-wise. Like, it's not something that needs to have a super high fidelity or frames or anything like that. So I think Switch 2 would be a great place to play it. Especially if it supports mouse controls, then I'm absolutely in on a Switch version of this. Would love this if it comes out anytime soon. Would love this for like a summer trip to be able to build little golf courses while I'm traveling on the airplane. That'd be so cool. I don't think they have a release date for it yet, though. I don't see it anywhere. All right. Now they did this, as you can see, this is creepy, quite a pivot to Hell Is Us. It comes out September 4th, and there's a demo on Steam that you can play. And by the time you're watching this, it might be too late. The demo is going to be off, I think, tomorrow or today on the 16th. So probably too late, but maybe there'll be more demos. Maybe it'll still be available when you go check it out. So demo's available now. The game's coming out on PC, Xbox, and PS5. I'm still a maybe on this. I know some people are all in right away. You know, anything with this kind of horror action adventure design, they're going to jump into right away. I am a strong maybe, like leaning towards yes, because of the sci-fi action RPG description. You can see it right here with the IGN thumbnail that's floating right there. Yeah, I like that. Sounds good. I really am curious if it's going to be something like we saw last year with a couple of games like this that came out. And once you heard player and critic reviews saying, nah, this is garbage, it allows you to skip it. So I'm curious if Hell Is Us comes out and it is getting really good gameplay reviews, I'm probably in, because the setting does look cool, even though it looks a little creepy and messed up. So, all right, I'm all in on this one already. Spoiler alert, I'm a thumbs up big time on Fading Echo. I just think the design and the gameplay of this look so cool. I love it. So Fading Echo It is this really stylish action platformer that is set for, sadly, 2026. But hey, we're already halfway there. As Jeff would say, we're halfway there. But it just seems to have a lot of style. I like the way that they use the Splatoon, almost like float, but you're going through water instead of paint. The way you can kind of glide quickly underneath enemies through this stream of water. Yeah. So it reminds me of the things I thought were kind of cool about Splatoon, with some action platforming and fighting, and I just think it looks neat. So I'm on board with Fading Echoes. I think this looks great. So let's get to the title screen of this one too. There you go. You can see it's going to be on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. So this one looks really neat, but it is not coming until 2026. All right, moving on. JRPG time, folks. This one looks awesome. It's a new 3D JRPG. Doesn't come out till next year as well, so put on your wish list for later. But as you can see, the pixel art design, this kind of Octopath Traveler 3D pixel design, I think looks really sharp. I love this time mechanic with the battle system where there's some action elements to it, but if you stop moving, everything else stops moving. I think that's really cool. It does appear to have some different battle modes, like some of that's time freezing, some of it looked turn-based. I don't really know for sure. Like this part kind of looks like it was turn-based, but hard to know for sure. I just thought this one looked really awesome, and Dan, this one especially is for you, man. So I think Sacrifier looks amazing. Sacrifier is the name of it. So here you go.
Damn, I love the church.
People don't say that a lot. So there you go. Sacrifier comes out early next year, just for PC that we know of for now, but who knows? Could pick up release elsewhere. All right, this next one, super adorable, really cool looking, almost claymation looking at times, but as you can see, kind of this interesting pastel art style that they've got on these little mice characters. I don't know. I like it. I think it looks cool. Reminds me of Moss a little bit, but anyway, it's a co-op adventure game where you are playing as these little mice. I don't think there's a release date for this yet, but the co-op element does sound fun. It looks really good. I think it's got a great, sharp art style to it. So I'm in on hella. I'm a pretty solid thumbs up. And by the way, I was thumbs up on Sacrifier as well, obviously. So hella. Let's see what it says here at the end. Yeah, you can wishlist it now. It's coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Peggy 12.
All right, this next one is a murder mystery based on the classic Death on the Nile, Agatha Christie. It's a mystery adventure game. It comes out this September. I would normally just skip through something like this, but I wanted to highlight it because I just thought the style of it looked really cool. It reminded me a little bit of like Wolf Among Us or something when some of the characters were talking to each other. I mean, obviously the mouth animations weren't quite there, but something about the art style was really cool and I liked it. And just the design, sometimes just the swagger of a game gets me, and this kind of has a little bit of that. So, and I liked the, what's it called? The Glass Onion movies, the Daniel Craig ones. I like those. So something like this where you're trying to solve murder can be a lot of fun. You got these two detectives coming in. I imagine it's like competitive to solve who killed the victim on the Nile. So there you go. Death on the Nile comes out September on everything, including the Switch, PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, and PC. All right, let's get to this last one from Future Game Show. Creepy, super creepy. This one's called Chrysal Theater of Idols. By the way, on the Death on the Nile, I'm a solid maybe. Not a no, but a solid maybe. Little spoiler alert on this one, this Chrysal, it's so creepy looking. I'm pretty solidly a no. I guess I could have my mind changed a little bit. Sometimes things are just a little too, like, messed up, creepy, like, so this isn't really my thing. It does look cool. The design, that gun looks awesome. Some of this stuff does look cool. I could be convinced to give it a shot, totally. Some of it looks like BioShock a little bit, even. But a lot of it might be just a tad too, like, yeah, that's too disturbing for my taste. Some people like that, which is totally cool. There's elements of this that look neat, though. So Chrysal Theater of Idols. It says 2025, so we'll see if it actually hits this year. PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So they wrapped up with that, and they might have done a couple other things, but that was one of the big uh, final trailers during the Future Game Show. So what did you guys think of the Future Game Show? I'm curious what your thoughts are. What trailers jumped out to you? What did I maybe skip that you would have included? I skipped a lot because it was a long show, so we didn't watch everything. That's for sure. But yeah, curious what you guys think. Let me know. But I also want to spend a little time talking about what is new and out right now before we go back into more and more trailers and trailers and trailers of things that are coming out soon. I want to pause and talk about stuff that's out right now. I've tried at least 2 of these games, and I want to give my very, very early, very shallow impressions of them. Really wish Kyle was here to talk more about this first one, and that is Rated M for Mature. That's what it's called. No, it's called Dune Awakening. Actually, you know what? I'm going to mute this. Yeah. Just so we can talk about it a bit. So yeah, Dune Awakening, we've talked about it for a while since it was announced. We've shown the trailer before. We've talked about our hopes for it. Good, bad, in between. We knew it was going to be an online survival game. I didn't know that it was a full-on MMO in the way that it is. I don't know why. I know they said that, but other things have said MMO, and I haven't really felt like one. This really does have a strong MMO feel to it. I don't mean that at all in a negative way. I actually like it. I've played that whole opening section where you see how your characters in the position they're in. You see the storyline they're setting up with small spoiler alert here, I suppose, to how the story setting works. But the idea is that it's an alternate timeline. They even say, like, if this happened instead of that, some characters might not even exist, and now you are born into this universe, and now you can make a difference in the way things have played out because of how different this alternate timeline is. And so I like that. It kind of gives you a little bit of freedom to be able to explore this world and these characters and these factions that you're going to be teaming up with or going against. I like that. So I think it's pretty cool. Character creator is what you expect. There's a lot you can do with it. And they have some pretty good presets as well if you want to just dive right in. You do have to pick a server. If you want to play with friends, you guys got to be on the same server. My experience was that I was able to get into the game. I played it for about an hour and a half, did a bunch of the opening and, of course, created my character, all those things. Was able to load in pretty quickly. Really thought the opening was epic. You learn some of the basics of the systems, from the combat to the way that the sun works and how it can affect you. You can get the sunstroke meter that builds up. Dehydration, of course, plays a huge role, obviously, in a Dune game. But then when I tried to log back in for a second play session the next day, it just said the server was full, try again later, and it gave me an error code. And so I did. I tried to turn it off, came back a little later, tried again, and said, sorry, server's full. So it's one of those things that you realize and you kind of forget if you haven't played it in a while. With an MMO, you're really reliant on their servers being available to you, there's space for you, that you didn't put yourself in a position where now you can't even use the character that you created because you're not in the right server or an available server, I guess. I don't know. So it's good, I suppose. The positive of that is that it's popular and people are playing it. The negative, of course, is that it's not a single player adventure where you can just dive in and play whenever you want. You're kind of at the mercy of availability of servers and things like that. So that's just the reality of it. Not really complaining. It's not a negative. That's just me coming to terms with what kind of game this is. I do want to play more. I'm very intrigued by it. It's very cinematic. The production values on this, guys, are really high. So I do recommend it highly. Full price is $30. You can probably get it even. Oh, wait. Was it 30? Was it 50? Hang on. Now I'm forgetting. Anyway, it's not a full price game. It's not 70. I know that. I'm trying to remember if it was 30 or 50 because I bought a couple different games this week. Well, whatever. Anyway, but it's not full price. I can tell you that. And so far, I can tell you with confidence, it is worth it. The visuals are great. Of course, the way they use shadows and the sun and the water mechanics. I haven't gotten super deep into the survival elements yet. It's just introducing me to the story and characters, and it's kind of joining me sort of with the faction right out of the gate. I'm sure there's going to be some nuance and some choices to be made there, but I really like it. I think Dune Awakening is a solid, really, really solid, maybe even great MMORPG. I just need to spend more time with it if they'll let me in to my dang server. So I will give that another whirl here in the near future. All right, the next one, and I also played a little bit of this, and I say shallow impressions because my time with the altars was pretty short so far. I got it on Game Pass and installed it, did the opening sequence, and I haven't gone back, but that was only like 2 days ago, so I still might play it some more. This is from the guys who brought you the team that brought you This War of Mine. I think they might have done the Thaumaturge as well. Pretty sure that's the same studio. Anyway, regardless of what else they've made, this is a really intriguing sci-fi survival adventure game. It's really intriguing. There's certainly survival elements to it where you have energy, limited energy in a given day, limited time in a given day. You got to try to, you need to try to um, uh, accomplish a certain number of tasks that day, but you can't overdo it or it's going to come back to bite you later. So, so anyway, yeah, there's things you need to go collect, resources to collect. There's new rooms in your fort. You can see right there he was running through these different chambers. Let's see here if I can get to where he's running through the hallways here of this. Think like new what's it called? The Fallout Shelter game, right? Where you are adding little, or even XCOM, right? Where you're adding these little compartments where you can upgrade things and people can sleep. You got to create everything from storage to all those pieces. So anyway, that is the setup, and you're upgrading things. You're going out to collect more things, come back and upgrade, go back to collect more, and then you upgrade. But the setting's really interesting. I thought it was really compelling the way it starts, the way your character is just as confused as us. Like, what is going on? What happened to everyone? This doesn't make any sense. And I just thought it was very compelling. Kind of, I don't know. It felt like the opening of a TV series or a movie, even that wants to pull you in right away because it drew me in immediately. That being said, there are some aspects of survival games that I know rub people the wrong way in terms of I have to go out and like mine these same 4 nodes again just to get these resources I need, or I I want to just stay out here exploring, and you're making me go back because my energy is almost gone. It's annoying. Like I understand that's annoying to some folks, but that is the kind of game it is. Okay, it's a survival adventure game, so you're just gonna have to deal with it or don't play it. If you have Game Pass, it's worth a try though. It's really intriguing. The concepts that are there are really intriguing. Um, and I've heard that the story is quite compelling as things progress as well. So there you go. The Altars. Let's get to the title screen here. There you go. The Altars uh, is out now on pretty much everything, but especially not on Switch though. But especially if you've got Game Pass, it might even be on PlayStation Plus. But it's definitely on Game Pass. You can give it a try. So, all right. I think that's pretty much it. Oh no, I forgot 2 more things. One's positive, which is great. Stellar Blade is out on PC and I think it's doing really well. Is the summary? I'm pretty sure it's one of the most played PlayStation published games in a while on PC. There's a few others that have been really successful. This is one of them. So that's excellent news for the Stellar Blade team that it's on PC now and it's doing really well. The reviews on it, of course, are phenomenal. But let's. I'm just gonna pull up a video of this while I talk about the apparent car wreck, literal, and I'm using that purposefully here, as he takes a shot at a truck and it just explodes nonsensically. And of course, they use this Simpsons clip, which is hilarious to me. This video is just from G-Man on YouTube as he's talking about how Mindseye is in trouble. Okay, guys, Mindseye from the, I think, former producer of Grand Theft Auto had a really cool look to it. Um, they're bringing up quotes of how it's a disaster, but it looked like it could be a really cinematic Grand Theft Auto with some exploration, but mostly just linear, cool story. Had some what looked to be high quality acting and actors and motion capture. Looked intriguing, and the gameplay, even this third person gameplay with cover based shooting, looked like it could be fun. Turns out it's a pretty big mess. Now, I want to be really fair. I haven't played it. Number one, I'm just going based off. This is just my secondhand knowledge that other people have talked about, so I don't know for sure. That's number one. Number two, they did just roll out an update like within the last 24 hours, so we could be looking at a game that is playing much better now and performing much better now. I just don't know. All I know is the screenshots, the things that have been pulled, the descriptions of the gameplay from pretty much everyone is that this is bad. That's what I keep hearing. Is that this is this is bad. I love the way they've sliced these clips together. Look at the AI. I can't even watch some of this. Shooting. Okay, so anyway, they're just talking about some of the. Ooh, there's a mini game to do CPR. That's. All right, that was really funny. All right. Anyway, all that to say, Mindseye not doesn't sound like it is the quality of game we were hoping for. I know Kyle and I for sure have talked about it a bunch leading up to it. That being said, sometimes there's a bit of a blessing in disguise when you don't have to dive into a game when you've got so many other things on your plate that you're playing. Sometimes it's nice to know, like, all right, I can confidently and comfortably skip that one at least right now. Maybe later down the road, if it's improved, maybe if there's a sequel or whatever the thing is, we might circle back to it. But I think Atlas Fallen, which I mentioned earlier, might be a good example of this. I'm pretty sure that released in a really rough shape. But I know I played it after some of their major updates, and word of mouth was really positive on it. And I have not given that its fair amount of time that it needs. But what I did play of it was like, hey, this is pretty competent. This is a pretty fun game. So anything's possible, but sad launch for a game with some pretty high expectations, or at least some optimism, I think is a fair way to say it. So anyway, there is that. Okay. So we've talked about future games show. We've talked about new games that are out right now. The main meat of what I wanted to go over together, kind of the meat of this episode, is about Summer Game Fest. It was a long presentation. There's a lot to it. And so what I don't want to do is just bring it up and let's listen to Jeff and his friends go over things for the next several hours. I don't want to do that. It's also getting late. I'm tired. I don't want to talk that long about this. But I do want to highlight some of these trailers, kind of like I did with Future Game Show. So if you're up for it, let's dive in. We'll go. These are not in order. Okay, this is a playlist from, I think it's IGN put this together, which I really appreciate that I don't have to scrub through the video for this one. I can just hit next on the trailer. So it's got most of the main trailers from the Summer Games Fest, which is awesome. It might miss a few, so sorry if I miss one. I'll do my best to cover any that I notice might be missing. But also we don't have to watch all the filler stuff and guess and try to drag the little timeline ahead. We can just hit next, which is great. So let's just dive in to the Summer Games Fest of 2025. What are some of the major announcements, the big game trailers? And yet again, we'll talk about, is this a thumbs up? Is this a we'll wait and see? Or is this a definitely not kind of a game? So here we go. We'll kick things off with a little Game of Thrones. I remember they gave us a teaser about how it's one of the most beloved IPs or something like that. And then, of course, we saw the Game of Thrones thing. I loved this because they immediately let you know this is not necessarily retelling the story you know. So I'm going to skip ahead a bit. So you've got a bunch of things happening. You have this main fight between Jon Snow and this Frost Lich King. I forget his name. But they're fighting, and of course, in this show, certain characters live, certain characters die. And in this game trailer, things go a little bit differently. Really good misdirect here at the end, I thought. Where he looks like Jon Snow is victorious, but he is not. Spear pulled out, he's down. So obviously, in this case, boom, dragon down. Yep. And now Jon Snow is one of these undead wights standing next to the... Yeah. So there goes the dragon falling out of the sky. Pretty cool way to show you, like, hey, in this game, War for Westeros, things can go a different direction. So it's an RTS game coming next year. No real gameplay on that yet, but I thought that was cool. I thought that was worth taking a look at. All right, one of the themes that I saw from Summer Games Fest, honestly from across a lot of these, not the Future Games Show, but some of the other things we saw, there's a lot of sequels, like the number 2 on the end of a lot of these games. And some of them, I'm like, oh, that's interesting they made a sequel for that. Some of them we're hyped for, which we'll see, especially in the Xbox showcase, we'll see. But I'm curious what you guys think too. Like, are these sequels you wanted? Are these sequels that are going to do well? Are they needed? Here's a good example of one of those. I'll turn it down just a bit here. So when I first saw this, I was like, oh, this reminds me of that really cool trailer for Atomic Heart even though the game didn't turn out to be too great, in my opinion. Boy, that trailer was cool and the design was cool. But there's so much creative visuals happening here. Creepy and weird and fascinating and just really interesting sci-fi stuff, right? With these robots and cloning and AI and all these things happening. Yeah, these towns and cities. I love that too, the drone flying through that river valley there. A lot of this caught my eye. And I started to wonder, like, is this the team who made Atomic Heart? And not only is it that team, this is a sequel to that game. Even the lipstick for the robot. Yeah. So Atomic Heart 2. And they show some gameplay here. Which admittedly looks cool. I gotta tell you, I thought the first game trailer looked cool too. I liked the, as you can hear here with the theme song, the song from Queen, as there, sounds like a fun music choice. Like, oh, it's gonna have a lot of personality. I just remember being, really off-put by some of the humor. I just think a lot of it didn't land, you know. So he landed. That was a good one. All right. So anyway, Atomic Heart 2 on the way. I don't know. It's not going to be for everybody. Let's see if they put any kind of release window. I don't think they do. No, they don't. Okay. Yeah. There you go. We got a Dying Light, The Beast gameplay and release date trailer. I'm going to skip ahead on this one just so we can see the release date.
Fucking kill him.
Oh, boy.
Then I'll go there.
I'm going to see if I can find... Hang on, let me mute this. See if I can find... There it is, August 22nd. I knew the release date was listed here somewhere. Let's go back. There it is. August 22nd is when you can play Dying Light, The Beast. So that looks kind of cool. All right, I got to tell you, the Sonic racing game looks like a lot of fun. I'm curious about this one. It hits in September. But the Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, I thought, looked like a lot of fun. Of course, I take a shot at Mario Kart, as the developer was talking about it. No shock there. But I just thought this looked fun. Some of the characters they're adding from the Sega universe. It says Sonic universe. I think it's just Sega universe, though. Some of these are not in the Sonic universe, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure they add Ichiban. Oh, it just to the... Okay, it said and Beyond. My bad. It did say and Beyond, so not just Sonic. So a bunch of other Sega games, right? Yeah, you've got from Like a Dragon, Ichiban's there. Yep. I think it's hilarious, man. Then we got Joker from Persona. Yep. I think it looks pretty fun. So we'll see. We'll see if it's any good. I've heard good things from the people that have had hands-on with it. And they're doing this Minecraft crossover. Let me pull it back here. My kids would love a kart racing game in Minecraft like this. So, yeah, that's gonna be a win if that actually delivers the way it looks like it might. So there you go. All right, moving on. Oh, I didn't want to show this one yet, but I guess here we are. Let me see. We'll get to Resident Evil at the end because they showed it at the end. I thought that was really cool the way they did that. Let's talk about Chronicles Medieval. This was early on in the show. Reminded me a bit of like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 with just like the realism of medieval times. Yeah, these folks getting ready for war. The voiceover, the scenery, the village. Even this, walking through the village, it just reminded me of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, one of my favorite games this year. Really epic, but I think very cinematic. I don't think there's any gameplay. It says Forge Your Destiny. I think it brings up like a HUD at the end, but you still don't really see. That looks like maybe controlled by a player right there, riding the horse. So some strategy elements, right? You're seeing maybe like quick army summary with those bars. I'm not sure what those mean, but anyway, this one looks pretty cool. Chronicles Medieval. It just says wish list. I don't think it had a release date. Oh, there you go. Early access in 2026. So yeah, Chronicles Medieval looked like a lot of fun. All right, guys, we got a new Scott Pilgrim game coming. I thought this looked awesome. I thought the other Scott Pilgrim game, that beat 'em up game, was so fun, really stylish, just really high quality. So this is a brand new story, brand new game, from the Scott Pilgrim creator, helped write the story and develop it. So I just think it looks like a lot of fun. Here's some gameplay if you want to see it. This kind of old school pixelated beat 'em up. Really looks like a lot of fun. So it's called Spot Pilgrim EX, and it comes out 2026, I guess. All right, here's another sequel. Mortal Shell 2. So we have Atomic Heart 2. We got Mortal Shell 2. Admittedly, one of the cooler, darker, weirder, but really cool trailers. As soon as I saw that kind of exoskeleton, I had a feeling it might be a Mortal Shell game or similar to it. So, I mean, some of this just looks so brutal. That's funny. When I see stuff like this, I think this looks cool and I want to try it because I love Elden Ring. I love Sekiro. I like some like Bloodborne. I love. So, but I don't know. It just doesn't hit me as that gruesome compared to some of those horror games that are just gross and disturbing. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't really put my finger on the difference between the two things. Maybe it's just a personal preference, right? Like this kind of gameplay maybe is what appeals to me. Maybe that's what it is. So yeah, this one looks pretty fun. Definitely Souls-like, just like Mortal Shell was. I imagine it'll have that same mechanic where you can kind of freeze your armor being in place, your shell. So coming in 2026 for PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. Did you guys play Mortal Shell? What did you think about it? I liked what I played of Mortal Shell. I know some people liked it way more, but I thought it was pretty fun what I played of it. All right, then we got this game called The Cube, which is, I believe, in the Atomic Heart universe. They call it the Atomic Universe. So we can skip through that. I'm not that interested in that one. It looks like a multiplayer game, but I'm not sure. All right, so then we've got Code Vein 2, another sequel that I was like, oh, interesting. I didn't know if it did well, if there was a huge following, or maybe they just have more ideas they want to flesh out. I will say the design in this looks awesome. It's got this like cel-shaded anime Dark Souls mixture. I mean, Code Vein kind of had that already, but this is just a leveled up version of that. But this character that walks up here with the candle face, like,
It heals.
what the heck? So creepy, so cool.
Long ago.
I thought this trailer was really good. Who knows if it'll be these two like set characters. Can you create your character again like you could before? It's hard to know. But yeah, it looks like some great hardcore action RPG. It's gonna be tough, I imagine, as well, just like the first game. So there you go. Code Vein 2 hits sometime. I think this is 2026 behind this little Requiem trailer. I think that's 2026. So there you go. Code Vein 2. One of the more cruel things that happened.
Ooh, Red Band trailer. Hell yeah.
One of the more cruel things that happened during this was this right here. Because it certainly sounded like we were about to get ourselves this awesome Deadpool game. He even made a joke about Hollow Knight not getting the Silk Song trailer, which I thought was great. But then it turns out it's VR, as you can see. I'm not saying it won't be fun. I'm not even saying it won't be funny. It'll probably be really funny. But I just don't want a VR game of this, you know? Just like, oh, I wish it was a regular game. I just wish it was a regular game. And that looks funny and fun. But yeah, I just can't do it. I'm pretty sure that it's a... Whoever does a good Ryan Reynolds. I don't think it's him, though.
And I get this shit? I'm craving Korean barbecue now. Is that weird? Whoa.
Is that Nolan North? I feel like it's someone else. I don't think it's Ryan Reynolds, but anyway, whatever. Deadpool VR is coming out. So that's your thing. There you go. Here, this game looks so good. This next one, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. You know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been giving you the thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me go back through the playlist and give you those here. We've got Game of Thrones, probably a thumbs down. Sometimes RTSs get me, but probably a thumbs down. Atomic Heart 2 is a thumbs down. Same with Dying Light. I'm not saying I dislike those games. If you like them, great. They just weren't my thing. Sonic Racing, I'm a pretty solid maybe, leaning towards a yes. We'll come back to Resident Evil. Chronicles Medieval, I'm a maybe because I don't know what kind of game it is. But I loved Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We'll see what Chronicles Medieval is. I think it's more of a strategy game, but that's not bad. I might like that. We'll see. Scott Pilgrim EX, I'm a thumbs up on. It looks like a lot of fun. Mortal Shell 2, I'm a maybe, but leaning towards yes. I really was intrigued by the first one. The Cube, I'm a no. Code Vein 2, I'm a maybe, leaning towards no. I liked Code Vein, but it didn't quite do it for me. Deadpool VR, I'm a no just because of the VR. Otherwise, I'd be in. And then here we go with Marvel Cosmic Invasion. And this is where they announce She-Hulk and Rocket Raccoon being added. But we get to see more of the gameplay, which I thought looked really cool. Just this really awesome 90s cartoon, 90s arcade look to it, and I love it. I mean, look how cool that is. I just feel like I'm back at the mall arcade when I see stuff like this. Love it. Yeah, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I think it's coming out this fall. Is that right? Let me see if it says it here. It just says in 2025. So it's coming to Switch, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox in 2025. There you go. I'm a yes on that one. I'm also a yes on this one. Onimusha Way of the Sword. We got an official gameplay trailer. It looks incredible. Sorry Dan isn't here to give you more of an in-depth breakdown, but seeing the gameplay was really cool. It just looks awesome. A little bit of that Arkham style combat it looks like, where you can kind of respond to attacks with parries or counterattacks of some kind. Creepy enemies just like you want. Really cool powers that look look at that. It's so cool. Epic bosses. They're monstrous. Love that. You can somehow block that with your sword. Yeah, you can. It's the way of the sword, baby. Hey, how come that guy has to be British? I don't like all this anti-British sentiment. I'm just kidding. Very colorful characters. I'm really excited about this. I have only played one Onimusha start to finish. That was 3. We talked about that before, so I don't know if this is a known character, but seems interesting. This guy's got this kind of chaotic insanity to him, which I find intriguing. So Onimusha, The Way of the Sword, still 2026. Looks great. Can't wait for that one. All right, moving on. We got Stranger Than Heaven. Again, I'm sorry that we don't have the full squad here. I think Kyle could give us better insight here. This is from, I think it's RGG Studios behind the Yakuza games. This is their new IP, I think. Stranger Than Heaven. Yep, RGG from the Yakuza and Like a Dragon studio. So this is just a story trailer, though, of course. We're not getting gameplay yet, but we have an idea of what the gameplay will be like. Setting looked really cool. This throwback setting. 1943. Is it Tokyo? Just looks really awesome. Nice style, nice design. They've been exploring the timeline a bit with some of their recent games, which I thought was really cool. So, this looks fun. Stranger Than Heaven. Probably coming out next month with how fast they put out games. All right. That one's a maybe. This one is an absolutely yes, just for the visuals alone. This is called Felt That Boxing. And this is created with Unreal Engine 5, I believe. But it's puppets. They look just like the Muppets or like Sesame Street. It's wild, but like creepy, of course. Darker, but you're boxing. Looks like other mini games as well, but and it looks so funny. It might be garbage, guys. It might play like trash and be like, oh, never mind, not a good game. But the visuals alone have got my attention. I'm in just for the visuals. It's even using, like this right here. I think this is. This reminds me of that Apple program. What was that movie program? Apple. I think it's iMovie. Where you can create your own like movie trailers using family home clips. I used to do that. Like make little fun family home clips into a movie trailer. This looks like that. If it is, that's hilarious. That animation, those visuals is amazing. The fabric and the fur. You have to dodge the toast for your training. You have to beat the meat and plunge the toilets. Oh my gosh. And the boxing looks really interesting. That's the big question, is how fun is the actual moments of playing the game, but it looks great. Felt that boxing. I think that also comes out in 2026, if I remember. Just says wish list now. I don't think we have a release date for that, but holy crap, that looks crazy. All right, they showed a trailer for Death Stranding 2 on the beach. We don't have to talk too much more about this. You'll be hearing from us on this over the next 2-3 episodes as we get a chance to play it. What I did like is that these two actors, I looked them up. They are husband and wife in real life. I thought that was cool because of the way they play off each other in this particular trailer. So go give the On the Beach Summer Game Fest story cutscene trailer a look for Death Stranding 2 if you're interested in that. I might skip this one. It's just so messed up. One of the best looking games I've ever seen. It just looks so realistic and creepy, but super disturbing. It's called Ill. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to skip this one. It's just so gross. And I don't want to gross anyone out, but Ill, certainly a horror game. Crazy physics, this weird engine and lighting. I'm going to skip this one too. I'm a no on that one. I'm a yes on Felt That Boxing. I'm a no on Arc Raiders. Sorry, Concord already showed us that this, let's be honest, kind of this rainbow-themed sci-fi team-based shooter is just not going to work. Sorry. Mafia: The Old Country. I'm a definite yes on. I'm getting this as soon as I can. The story trailer, of course. Another look at the game. Looks really epic, well acted, good story. Can't wait, man. Super pumped for Mafia: The Old Country in August. We're moving along here, folks. Chrono Odyssey. This one's, I'm blanking out on what this one is now. Chrono Odyssey. What is this? MMO. Oh, okay. That's why I'm blanking out on it. My mind protects me from things I shouldn't remember, I guess. So this is an MMO. Really cool look, of course, in this cinematic trailer. But as it turns out, it is a MMO, which, hey, could be fun. I just talked about that earlier with Dune. Not knocking it. Not saying it's impossible for it to be good. It's just harder for me to say I'm going to play an MMO, but we'll see. We'll see. It does look cool. Great design. Chrono Odyssey. And is it out now? Playtest. Coming this month, so next week. You can join the playtest this coming weekend. There you go. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny. This is an announcement of this kind of... Is it a fighting game? I know it's got like SpongeBob and other Nickelodeon characters in it. Or was it a beat 'em up? Isometric beat 'em up. Kind of action adventure. Yeah. Yeah, could be fun. Who knows? Magic begins this fall. Hitting all the consoles. There you go. We got the DLC for Lies of P that dropped during the show, which was awesome. Called Overture. We got to see some more of the bosses, some more of the design. It's got really good reviews from critics. Love that. So Lies of P Overture is out now. Then we got to see Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver. This is interesting to me. It's a really good throwback to the Wu-Tang Clan. And then it looks like, I think it was a platformer. Yeah, I thought it was a platformer. There you go. Yeah. Some of this art style looked really cool. And the music, of course, sounds great. Yeah, I'm intrigued by this one. I'm a maybe on this one. Yeah, I'm definitely a maybe on this one. Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver. Coming to PC. There you go. All right, we have a new game in the Jurassic World Evolution series where you are managing your own dinosaur park. These games are fun. I like the first and second one, what I played of them. I like a good management sim where you're running a business or a zoo or an amusement park or a dinosaur park. So I like stuff like this. I'm glad to see they're continuing with it. I'm not sure what you can do new outside of graphical improvements, but maybe they're adding some new features that make it really worthwhile. But yeah, I'm glad that it's continuing because it is fun as you manage your own little dinosaur park there. I think it comes out this fall. Wait, where did it go? Yeah, October 21st. There you go. All right, End of Abyss. It's coming out in 2026. They're calling it a harrowing adventure from Epic Games Publishing. I forget what this is. End of Abyss. Okay, Dark Corridor. People walking across a precarious bridge. Mysterious radio signal. Oh, yeah. It's like this isometric horror game. Horror adventure, but it's got this isometric look. It looks really cool. Really interesting perspective for a game like this, too. Creepy, yeah. Super creepy, but cool perspective for something like this. I thought this looked cool. End of Abyss. Coming in 2026 as well.
There's something rotten at the
All right,
heart of
Mouse PI for Hire looks wacky. It's a fast-paced first-person shooter with this old school, like Mickey Mouse, like really old Mickey Mouse style animation, black and white, creepy character faces, and
to save it.
but yeah, interesting idea to make this kind of what looks like probably a pretty violent first-person shooter with this animation style. I'm in. Troy Baker is Jack Pepper. Mouse PI for Hire coming out this year. All right, here's a game I didn't know that I wanted until I saw this. The visuals in this are incredible. It's the people who made Lego Builder's Journey. Never played that. But this game is called Lego Voyagers, where you have these two little... It's a co-op game. You're these two little, like, one-piecers, right? If you've ever played Legos and you're digging through trying to find something, you're like, hey, let me know if you see any red one-piecers. I need one of those, right? This is like this little one-block-high one-piecer, and you can join together, looks like. You can connect to other pieces, navigate the environment, get across obstacles using physics or building. There you go. Like a bigger slingshot. There you go. On a boat. I mean, this just looks so adorable and really creative. I'm all in on Lego Voyagers, which I think is also a next year game. Really cute trailer, though. Yep. Lego Voyagers. It's got me. I'm in. Super. And no release date for that one, though. All right, then we have the Street Fighter 6 character reveal for a couple of new characters coming to Street Fighter. Sorry, I'm just going to keep skipping ahead for the sake of time. We got, same with Hitman. I love the World of Assassination stuff. I think it's great. It's cool that they're adding Mads Mikkelsen's character, Le Chiffre, from Casino Royale. Great Bond movie, one of the best. And he even came out during the Summer Games Fest, which I thought was cool that he was out on stage.
An ancient white castle deep
All right, Killer Inn is this multiplayer game. Cool concept, although I don't really like a lot of online multiplayer games like this. But it's a murder mystery game where you've got two different teams and you got to figure out who killed who. But you're also fighting each other, setting traps for each other, trying to solve it. All those things all happening at the same time. So Killer Inn does look creative, even if it's not my genre. This fall, I think. Coming soon. Closed beta coming soon. So yeah, no date yet. I saw Square Enix logo on there. That's interesting. All right, this is a Fortnite Death Star Sabotage trailer. So that's cool that that's coming to Fortnite. Moving ahead, though. Sorry. This one's called Acts of Blood. I think it's made by one person. This kid from Indonesia, I think this was that game. One-man development team. Kiddo in Indonesia who's making his own game. And this reminded me of a couple different games we've seen over the last few years. Everything from Sifu to... What was that one? It wasn't the 12 minutes one. Shoot, what was it? There was a fast-paced kind of action one where you have to... It's like arcadey because you had the time limit on each mission. Anyway, this reminds me of those kind of games. Little old boy style here with the hallway. Fighting all the enemies. It looks cool. Very stylish. You know, and props to this kid for creating what looks to be a really visually competent, if not impressive game. And maybe the combat's fun. That's the key, right? Is the combat fun. So, this is called Acts of Blood. Yeah, the crowd liked that one. Coming out summer next year. All right, and I think that was it. I think that's everything from this list. Let's go back here. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. They had a Dune Awakening, a Mindseye trailer, which we already saw, 7 Deadly Sins. I'm going to skip ahead. Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers. This game's coming to Game Pass from 505 Games. And I think it's going to be on everything, but it'll be on Game Pass if you want to try it. They call this a action RPG. Souls-like action RPG. Yeah, this one looks cool. Again, hard to know yet. Is it going to stand out? Is it going to be great? Is it going to be forgettable? The design looks great. Reminds me of watching stuff like House of Flying Daggers with that field of flowers and stuff as you're fighting. Cool design here with the fantastical, magical enemies you're fighting, or maybe teaming up with. I don't know. Yeah, really cool design. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. Some bonus stuff if you pre-order it. July 24th. There you go. Coming to all platforms, but it's going to be on Game Pass as well. They have First Descendant. I think it's DLC. Yeah, it's a major update to the First Descendant called Breakthrough. Breakthrough, First Descendant major update coming in August. What's this one? Oh, this is a One Punch Man crossover with Crystal of Atlan. Okay, if that's your thing, go watch that. I'm going to keep moving here. Oh, we already saw the Stranger Than Heaven. Uh-oh. It's starting to repeat. Okay, Mixtape. This looks amazing.
Hanging out.
Is this Don't Nod, right? No, Annapurna. Art style in this is incredible, right? I think it's set in the 90s. Oh, it looks so good. Maybe 80s, but anyway. Looks like 90s.
It's time to look back.
Oh, this looks so good. Yeah, skater kids, rock and roll, movie rental stores.
One moment. It's the pigs, darling.
Shit.
This year,
You're in a garage band. You're riding
like
shopping carts down the road.
Beethoven and Dinosaur.
It looks so weird. Like it's got this kind of stop motion animation look to it. It looks really cool. And I don't mean weird at all in a bad way. I mean like memorable. Toilet papering a house as a gameplay mechanic? Yes, please.
And with the soundtrack this good, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
great soundtrack, great visuals. I think Mixtape looks fantastic.
Mixtape. Nothing but the hits.
It's coming to Game Pass as well, and PS5 and PlayStation as well. All right, we have this game called Out of Words, this really cool kind of puppet stop motion animation. I've said it a lot. I don't mean to make it all sound that way, but that's a popular design choice right now with the animation. Side-scroller adventure, co-op journey, where you land somewhere and your mouths are removed so you can't talk. So they have to travel together where they can't speak. Obviously, a lot of platforming, precision platforming, some powers that you have to use to navigate. Some cool gravity stuff they're doing there. Colorful characters, very claymation looking. Looks like something Tim Burton would make. Yeah, very cool. Out of Words. I think hitting all platforms in 2026. There you go. All right, Fractured Blooms. Oh, this wasn't really my thing. Oh, yeah, it's a first-person kind of creepy, but also like farming. Kind of a weird combo of things. Fractured Blooms. Another little indie game. All right, here we go. Here's the sure thing. Most of those games are in the middle of a maybe. Minna the Hollower is from Yacht Club Games. It's the first IP that I'm aware of that they've created since Shovel Knight, which I love all the Shovel Knight games. Those are all really great. But this is another throwback. It actually looks even more old school in some ways because it's got more of a like Zelda or Link to the Past. Specifically, maybe even the original Zelda, just because it's very pixelated. It almost looks like Nintendo more than Super Nintendo. But man, I think it looks great. It's like a lot of fun. Big boss fights, puzzles to solve. Yeah, they're calling it Minna the Hollower, launching on Halloween. There's a demo out if you want to go give that a try. So I'm all in. I'm a yes on this one. I'm also a yes on this one. Epic Games getting my attention. This one's called Infinitesimals. It's got this military shooter approach to it, but you're also like insects or tiny creatures that are the size of little insects. Just really cool animation style. Love the visuals of this. And of course, love the Honey I Shrunk the Kids style adventure. The scale of that is really cool. Some stealth, climbing event. I mean, those visuals look incredible. I can't believe games look like this. Really creative. They go fighting the stag beetles and things like that. Yep. And other robots, it looks like.
Whatever it takes.
This looks cool. Infinitesimals, I think is what it's called.
Away.
Looks like ants if it were good. You know what I mean? All right, Infinitesimal's coming out in 2026. All right, then we got Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. This looks really cool. I think it's a side scroller, right? No, isometric action game. Yeah. This one looks really cool. It looks like it's multiplayer, probably the way that they were showing that there. Very anime in its style, but as you can see, a lot of upgrades you can do. You can upgrade your gear, forge new gear, and then the combat looks very much like a isometric action RPG. So big boss fights. Yeah, Toa and the Guardians. There you go. The Guardians of the Sacred Tree comes out September 19th on all platforms, including Switch. So there you go. All right, this one's called Wildgate. Open beta is coming out soon. Is this an online one? Yeah, it's a PvP multiplayer one called Wildgate, if that's your thing. Moving on. Last Flag, another 5v5 online shooter. I'll just skip ahead so you can see it a little bit. Might be your thing. It's not for me. This one's for me, guys. Those last two are thumbs down. This one is for me. It's called Mio, Memories in Orbit. Love a stylish side-scrolling platformer. Will always like these. So I am super into this one. It's got Metroidvania vibes to it. Combat, exploration, precision platforming. I'm in. Xbox, Steam, demo's out now. All right, then we got Blade and Soul Heroes. It's another action RPG MMO. So here's how it looks. Again, not to insult anyone. Not really my thing. It's fine. Moving on. Lego Party. I think where you kind of build. Yeah, you can build lots of stuff. Like multiplayer Mario Party Mayhem, but with Legos. That looks fun. That one looks pretty fun. Coming this year to all platforms. Nice. All right. So I think that's most things except here. Let's go back to the beginning of this playlist here. We'll wrap it up with this. Resident Evil Requiem. To their credit, they gave a great misdirect earlier in the show where they were celebrating the Resident Evil birthday, and they even have the creator come out and say, can't wait to show you what we're working on next, but it'll be here before you know it. Thanks so much for celebrating with us. And that felt like that's all we were going to get. Then this trailer wraps up the show, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's totally worth the watch. I mean, the visuals in this look incredible. This Capcom RE engine is insane. But then, yeah, over time you start to realize I saw Raccoon City Police Department at one point. Some hints of what they're talking about. According to Dan, he educated us, gave us some cool flashbacks. We talked about this last week. Flashbacks to an actual character from, I think, the Resident Evil Online game or whatever that was. Or Memories or whatever it was called. There you go. Requiem, which is Resident Evil 9. And you can hear there the crowd going crazy. They got super pumped for that one. Whoa, that was a lot. Summer Games Fest had a lot happening. What did you guys think? What things jumped out to you? I mean, I had a few that were standouts to me that were certain. Yes, absolutely buying that. Like Resident Evil 9, I'm in. Again, not super into most spooky games, but I have loved Resident Evil. The recent releases have been incredible. 7 was great. 8 was even better, I thought, personally. Some people like 7 more. That's totally fair. I loved Village. And the Resident Evil 4 remake was phenomenal. So I am pretty excited to see what we get with 9. We saw more, by the way. You can go check out more footage from 9, more details. Looks like it is going to be out in the first quarter, probably, maybe second, but first half of next year. Yeah, looks pretty exciting. One thing they didn't show here was another look at the 007 First Light game, the game from the Hitman team, the IO Interactive. So 007 First Light, I'm pretty pumped for that as well. I think that's going to be really cool. It's been a while since we've played a really good Bond game, so very hopeful for that one. All right. Why don't we wrap things up with a quick tour through the Xbox Showcase. I'll do my best to move quickly through this one, but hopefully you're enjoying this recap. I don't know about you, but when we get so many news pieces that drop on game announcements and game trailers, so many things slip through the cracks. It's almost nice to sometimes pause and then revisit it a week or two later. It's like, oh yeah, that looked great. I'm going to add that to my wish list. So if nothing else, hopefully this episode has been a nice recap for you in that space, and hopefully this one for the Xbox will be that as well. So let's dive right in. I don't want to necessarily visit all this. We had a lot of, let me turn this down a little bit. A lot of Outer Worlds 2 talk, so we can skip through some of this. That's not because I don't think it looks great or that I'm not excited, because I am, and I do. I think it looks amazing, and I am excited. I just think we've seen a lot of it, and for the sake of time, I want to get to the next game. So Outer Worlds 2 got a lot of content in this showcase and in the content that followed. So go check that out if you're interested. Outer Worlds 2 looks really incredible. And they also talked a lot about Grounded 2, which was announced as well. October 29th, by the way. October 29th for the Outer Worlds 2. And then they announced High on Life 2. Let's just watch a couple of the gameplay moments here. Looks like, again, this looks like cinematic gameplay, right? Like, the game's going to kind of look like this, but maybe not quite this good. You get the idea, the guns that look at you and talk to you. And it was a weird but funny game. Rick and Morty character creators, I believe. Yeah, so this High on Life 2 got, like I said, Outer Worlds 2, High on Life 2, a lot of sequels running the show. Coming this winter. There you go. Gonna be on Game Pass as well. Let's keep jumping ahead here. What was this one? What was this one? This looked cool. Sorry, I'm just skipping ahead here. Do they have... They don't have a description of each game, so we'll just have to wait and see. Here we got like a Coliseum thing happening here. Almost Assassin's Creed, like the way she was running, and it was showing this like line. What is that? I'm forgetting. Oh. This is the new Plague Tale game. This is a new Plague Tale game. That's right. Totally different setting and time, but they're calling it like a Plague Tale. Oh, we'll see the title. But it's a Plague Tale story or something like that. Yeah, this looks awesome. Resonance, a Plague Tale Legacy. There you go. Coming next year. Super pumped for that. It's going to be on Game Pass, too. All right. Oh, and then we got the ROG Ally, the PlayStation, or I'm sorry, the Xbox-specific one. I'm getting tired, so my words are getting a little jumbled. The Xbox-specific handheld, the ROG Ally. I think they're calling it the Xbox Ally because it's designed specifically for that. So we keep seeing a lot of Silksong hints and teasers with not nice because they're still not really talking about it directly. Nintendo did it with their Switch 2 presentation. Xbox did it here. We're seeing a lot about Silksong, but we're not seeing the actual game, which is not nice. But there you go, ROG Ally. We did see that there's rumors that this thing could be, pre-orders could go up as early as August with it releasing before holiday. So yeah, we could be getting our hands on this sooner than we think. So there you go. ROG Ally. We're going to jump ahead here. Let me turn off the sound so we can find something that we want to see. Oh, Rebel Wolves. Yeah, this is a multiplayer game, right? What's this one?
Docile cattle. Not me, though.
Oh, guys, this is the one from the... Is this the Witcher devs?
Change me into one of them.
Some former Witcher devs, I think, with their new studio, the Dawn Walkers, right? This looks cool. Yeah, this one looks really cool.
Their worst nightmare.
You can even hear the music. Has a Witcher vibe to it, doesn't it?
A dawn walker.
Yeah, this looks great. The Dawn Walkers. Get out of the sun, dude.
Between the two worlds. Fighting to even the
It's just funny because Geralt has killed his fair share of vampires, hasn't he?
the evil behind it all. He is out there.
That's got to be the same music composer. Comes out in 2026. So yeah, you're clearly like this Blade-like character maybe who has the vampire elements to you, but you're also hunting them. The Blood of Dawnwalker. There you go. You live in both worlds a little bit, it looks like. Man, that looks great. Can't wait for that one. All right, then we get Mario. Just kidding, not Mario. Super Meat Boy 3D, or I think they're calling it. This looks phenomenal. I love the art style. The Meat Boy games are funny, really tough, but fun. Precision, fast-paced precision platforming. And then you'll die like 1,000 times, and then when you finally finish the level, all of your runs go together into one. I think it shows it into one big mixture, and you see all of your attempts. They look like different Super Meat Boys jumping at the same time together. It's hilarious because they're dying left and right. So there they are. There's all of them. Super Meat Boy, I think it's called 3D. Yeah, early 2026. Yeah, it looks fantastic. All right, then we get an Xbox Game Studio game. What is this one? Oh, this is Ninja Gaiden 4. Yep. Got a release date for this too. I believe it's in October. This looks wild. This looks really good. Great design. Blood everywhere. Ninja Gaiden 4. October 21st. There we go. Busy month of October. Yeah, Xbox. Xbox is delivering, guys. It's crazy. All right, we got DLC for Indiana Jones was announced. Comes out, I think this summer, right? The Order of Giants. September 4th. So end of the summer, beginning of fall, whatever you want to call that. September 4th. Some DLC for Indiana Jones. Great game, by the way. Love Indiana Jones. All right, what is this one? Can't remember what this is. That's crazy. Things grew and then died right where it stepped. This isn't ringing a bell. Oh, this is the game from Game Freak. That's right. That's right. People looking at this all mad about how Pokemon looked and performed. Yeah, this looks really cool. It's like Game Freak was like, hey, what if we had some power to work with on the console we were building the game for? Hopefully this is good, man. I hope they get a chance to really kind of spread their wings away from some of the Pokemon stuff a little bit. I want them to keep making good Pokemon content, but I'm sure for them it's nice to do something different. Yeah, this cool action adventure game called Beast of Reincarnation from Game Freak, coming out next year. All right.
The glittering streets of Avalon sure.
Oh, this looked cool. This was that Clockwork one, right? Is it Clockwork Revolution? Is that what it's called? This one looks wild. Looks so cool.
We can't arrest and question everyone. Let's see if we
Yeah.
can narrow the suspects down a bit.
Great visuals. Gameplay looks fun. You know, of course, you get those BioShock Infinite vibes from the design choices. A lot of time manipulation. Yep. Really violent and cool first-person shooting action. Great weapons, powers, like a little BioShockness to it, which I am totally down with. Little BioShock, little Borderlands, a little bit of this and that, with its own flavor as well, of course. Clockwork Revolution, yeah. This was announced a long time ago. It's nice to see it
Now let me alone and piss off.
coming in due time. Yeah, still no release date for that one.
Teams are dedicated.
All right, so we're gonna skip ahead. What is this one?
Of a deranged scientist, Kate Uli.
Sorry for jumping ahead. Oh, this is Grounded 2. Okay, yeah, we got to see some Grounded 2. Okay, then we got this game that had this Dead Space vibe to it. What was this one? Chronos: The New Dawn. Very Dead Spacey. Yep. Scary sci-fi, wearing a spacesuit. Walk around with a gun. Third person. Yep. Creepy. But yeah, really, really cool looking. I'm a maybe on this one. Coming fall. Again, it's busy, busy fall. Bethesda. Oh yeah, this was, I think, another Elder Scrolls Online. Yep. Okay, we're gonna keep fast forwarding here. New game from Don't Nod. And I love Don't Nod. Looks like some platforming, exploring an icy planet or something. Man, they make some really cool games. Guys, I love Don't Nod. After Banishers, I'm even more of a fan.
Thomas,
What's this one called?
wherever you are.
Aphelion. That looks great. Don't Nod, I'm in. Ooh, something dark and scary and growly. It's not going to be a super happy game, I don't think. Collaboration with the European Space Agency coming next year. Okay.
Welcome to it. He left you this hotel in his will. It's little.
Oh yeah, this one looks wacky. Like it's musical, but you're renovating this hotel space. Let me skip ahead here. There are no ghosts at the Grand coming next year. Really interesting. Just for the sake of time, I'm kind of just pumping through these, okay? All right. Play day one with Game Pass. Nice. All right, is this the Age of Empires? Age of Mythology. There you go. Looks like DLC for that. Okay. What is this game? I don't remember this one. See, this is why it's good to rewatch these sometimes, is there's stuff I forget. Intriguing. I like this. Third person kind of action shooter. Something super powered, fast zombie like coming at you. Is it multiplayer? This looks like a multiplayer game. Like a PvE maybe. Extraction. Mudang, 2 hearts. Alright, if it's a single player game, looks intriguing. If it's multiplayer, I'm out. Oh yeah, we got the Planet of Lana 2. Love Planet of Lana. Great game. So now we got a sequel. I thought that first one was great. Really pretty, amazing music. Fun stealth platforming, puzzle platforming. Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf. Coming next year. Okay. What was this one? Fallout 76, right? Yeah, Fallout 76, Gone Fishing. Yep, okay. Okay, this was... Yeah. Wuthering Waves or whatever. What is this one? Arise. Solo leveling Arise Overdrive. Coming 2026. 2025 in early access. 2026 to Xbox. Okay. This... It's hard to watch sometimes, guys. This has a Power World vibe to it. What is this one? What's it called? I missed the title. Let's go back. See what it's called. It is Animo. Animo, coming 2026. Okay. Tony Hawk. Yeah, Tony. Little throwback for Tony Hawk. Including some Ninja Turtles. It's awesome. Alright, what's this one? Ooh. This kind of looks like Neva a little bit. Oh, it's... No, this is from the Spiritfarer. Yep. The Sundered. For me, personally, I like Sundered. That's of their games that they've made. I like Spiritfarer a lot. I like Jotun quite a bit. But Spiritfarer is my game. Love that. No, I'm sorry. Sundered is my game. I love that. That's the one I played. Spiritfarer is great. It's beautiful. Sundered was amazing and challenging and gorgeous. This looks like it's got a lot of Sundered to it in its DNA. This side-scrolling action platforming. Yeah, dude. Super in. So, loved it. Some of the character development maybe of Spiritfarer going on here. Yeah, big boss fights. Dude, yeah. Sundered, I still recommend it, man. If you guys haven't played Sundered, Go back and play that game. This is called At Fate's End, coming next year to all platforms. Yeah, good. And that's from Thunder Lotus. Is that the name of the team? Epic Games. I thought it was Thunder Lotus. And yeah, they're just down here in the corner. Can't really see it very well. Yeah, Thunder Lotus is the team. Okay. Oh yeah, guys, we got some Gears of War. Gonna be on PlayStation. What are they calling it? Like Reloaded. It's coming August 26th. The PlayStation 5. So weird to see that. So weird to see that. Only thing weirder will be Halo when that eventually hits PlayStation. All right, this is a Persona 4 revival. Okay, a Persona 4. All right, we got a Sea of Thieves update. Love Sea of Thieves, but don't need to watch that again. Oh gosh. Okay, great trailer here. I thought this might be The Boys at first, but then I realized, well, what's animated like The Boys? Invincible. So, and hey, the art style's cool. The versus style of this is cool. Kind of that Marvel versus. This is Invincible versus 3-on-3 tag fighting. It's a fighting game. So it's not going to be for everybody, but that art style is really cool. And it's super violent. All right, and then we got an announcement that Final Fantasy 16 is coming to Xbox Game Pass today. Oh, first we saw... Sorry, I went too far ahead here. That Remake Intergrade is coming this winter to Xbox. There you go. And then that 16 is out now on Xbox. So enjoy if you haven't played that. 16 is an epic, excellent action game with a good amount of RPG elements to it, but really great story and characters. Beautifully made, high quality. Really like Final Fantasy 16. So go give that a shot if you haven't played it yet. All right, then we got a new game from Double Fine. This looks so wacky and funny. Watch this. This lighthouse comes to life. And you literally are this lighthouse. I love this. You got this weird like dodo bird seagull combo trying to help you out as you navigate as a living lighthouse around this collapsing, weird, dangerous world. Leave it to Double Fine to do something you didn't expect, and it's creative and visually impressive. And yeah, man, I'm in on this one. Keeper, that's what it's called, Keeper.
Games like
All right, we're gonna skip Phil Spencer. What's this one? Oh yeah, guys, I didn't expect this. This is the final thing. So I thought this would be like a new IP, or maybe I actually thought it might be something from the quantum. What's it called? The Break. Quantum Break. Anyway, that time shifting one with the real TV show. I thought this might be the next game from that team. Gosh, my mind's going blank right now. Quantic Dream or whatever that studio is called. Anyway, I thought it might be a game from them. Turns out this is a new Call of Duty. This is Black Ops 7, starring dude from Heroes and This Is Us and many other things. Now he's in Call of Duty. He probably had fun doing something like this, though. Now he is the face of Call of Duty for the next 18 months. Yeah, dude. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Hey, I really liked Black Ops 6 a lot, campaign and the multiplayer. And so I am looking forward to see what they do next. I can't tell I'm getting tired, but I've really enjoyed hanging out and chatting with all of you who are listening or watching, and diving back into some of the announcements we saw over the last few weeks. So I just want to close out with a couple pieces of news and just some stuff I'm playing that I'm having fun playing. By the way, before we do that, curious what you think. What are your favorite trailers that we saw? Either ones that I showed or ones from a different presentation. All the indie presentations, or maybe some of like the Sony State of Play we went over last week. There was so much that was shown in the last 2 weeks, this first half of June. It's just crazy. I mean, sometimes your mind goes numb a little bit with all the games. And then if you dove into the Steam Next Fest demo, section of that store, it's like, holy crap, there's a lot of garbage, right? There's a lot of shovelware, it looks like, but there's so much good stuff. So much good stuff. So it's a lot. So what jumped out to you? What are you guys most excited about? I'm curious to hear from each of you. But let's talk about some news before we close things out here. Always like to celebrate victories when those things happen. So it's exciting to see how well the Switch 2 is doing. I think it's great when any console has a great launch. That just means there's still high interest in the industry. That means that hopefully that means more games can be made, more jobs will be available, and generally speaking, I like to think that rising tide lifts all boats. So Switch 2 breaking sales records should not be a thing where we're sad about it because our favorite console didn't break the same sales records. Maybe it will someday, and who cares? Who cares? It should be exciting that consoles are still as popular as they are with all the phones and stuff that are out there. So the Switch 2, earlier this week, they announced that they had sold 3.5 million units globally in its first 4 days on sale. That was actually, let's see, it came out on the 5th. It's been 11 days now as of this recording. 11 days since that's happened. Since it's released, sorry, in its first 4 days. So now we've had a whole week since then. In its first 4 days, it sold 3.5 million units globally. Crazy. Fastest selling Nintendo system ever. Likely the biggest console launch ever. They're still pulling some numbers on that. In comparison, the PlayStation 5 shipped, not sold, 3.4 million units in its first 4 weeks on sale. 4 days versus 4 weeks. It's not an insult to PlayStation. It's just exciting to see how well the Switch 2 has done. To be fair, and it's totally fair to say this, PlayStation 5 had severe stock shortages for their console. Maybe they would have sold 2, 3, 4 times as many. I don't know. You could make an argument maybe the demand was higher for the PS5. Totally fair. All we know is what was actually moved, though. And right now, Nintendo holds the fastest selling start to a console launch ever. And right now, it's looking really good at hitting their target of 15 million for their first business year. So, or even getting past that, which is pretty incredible. A lot of people are expecting them to do that. By the way, 80% of people who bought a console bought Mario Kart World. So it's fair to say that's going to be, just like Mario Kart 8, one of the best selling pieces of software for the lifetime of the Switch. All right, let's talk about a rumor that's going around that seems pretty well founded. Something's going to happen with Red Dead Redemption here in the near future. Red Dead Redemption 2 is being talked about as maybe getting a current gen update. Guys, maybe even something coming to the Switch. I don't know. 2K has said they want to support the Switch. They're going to give it more support than they ever have before. I'm hoping that doesn't mean they stick to stuff like wrestling and basketball. That's fine if NBA 2K and WWE come out. But yeah, give me like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption 2. Give me those games on the Switch, you know? So yeah, the actor for John Marston, Rob Whitehoff, I'm not sure how to say his name. He said during a live stream that he has exciting news and apparently was kind of people were inferring that he was talking about Red Dead Redemption, and a lot of reports saying it's going to be coming to Switch 2, which is exciting. Whatever remake version of this they put out, Red Dead Redemption 2 Master Edition or whatever they're going to call it. So anyway, that'd be cool. It'd be great to have it on the Switch 2 as well. So that's pretty exciting. Also, Konami is working on a Silent Hill 1 remake, also with Bloober Team. So it's in good hands, guys. Silent Hill 2 was universally acclaimed by fans and critics alike. Everyone loved that remake that came out last year. And now here we go with Silent Hill 1. So, and I learned this. Apparently, it's not out of order storyline-wise. 2 was more of a standalone game from what I've heard. It's 1 and 3 that are more directly connected. So you can make an argument that if things move ahead and they're successful, that they would do a remake of 1 and then maybe a remake of 3. And that would keep, these games connected in a way that makes sense. All right, let's wrap it up. Quick things that I'm playing, and then we're going to get out of here. Of course, I'm spending more time with Mario Kart World. Love that game. My kids and I have been playing it a bunch. We really enjoy unlocking tons of stuff. We've done all the courses, but now trying to go through and get 3 stars on everything and unlock all the stuff. But Mario Kart World is an absolute joy. We're part of the 80% of people that bought a Switch 2 that got Mario Kart World. But it's a lot of fun. All my kids, everyone from my 5-year-old up to my 18-year-old, and even my wife has joined in on the playing of Mario Kart World. It's a good time. Really good time. And last but not least, still playing Elden Ring. I shouldn't say still. I dove back into Elden Ring my son getting into it. Now he is towards the end of that game. He's getting further and further in it. He is at the Melania fight, I think. He's pretty much at the final boss fight, but he's right now trying to clean up things in the world. So he has completed most of that game, the mainline part of the game. And so once he does that, then he wants to jump into the Shadow of the Erdtree content, which got me kind of gave me that itch to go back in as well. Because there's lots in Shadow of the Erdtree that I didn't finish. I fought most of the bosses, but I don't even think I got half of the new weapons or all the upgrades that are in that. There's a lot that I left on the table with Shadow of the Erdtree. So I think I'll jump back in and play some more of that. I think I have been playing some more of that. So that's been a lot of fun. But anyway, I think that's it for us for this week. Thank you guys for tuning in, listening to me ramble for a little while. Hope you all have a great week this week. Hopefully you get a day off from work this week, get a chance to catch up on some gaming. What are you going to play this week? There hasn't been a lot of huge marquee releases. There's been some really cool niche games that have come out, like the new Dune MMO, the new Alters survival game, really neat. But it's not until the following week when we get Death Stranding 2 that we have the next big blockbuster release. So what's on the radar for you? What are you going to be playing? Would love to hear from you. But thank you guys for checking out the episode. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.